Speaking of dropping the ball, let's talk about the elephant in the room. The
I'm
real reason
shocked
we're
we
here
didn't start
today.
the show with this, Joe. I gotta be honest with you. I'm
No,
shocked
I
we didn't
like
start the
because
show.
what happens is the start of the show begins and people start to file in. I wanted to give some people time to warm up. I wanted to get my Jack Leiter, Joe Stradamus, and my Evan Carter, Joe Stradamus, because I had a major Joe Stradamus just this week earlier on the show. Rafael Devers with 2 for 3 with a homer. That's great. After the game, Rafael Devers told reporters that he's not going to play first base. And you got a quote here from him about the why. So here we go from Rafael Devers' interpreter. I know I'm a ball player, but at the same time, they can't expect me to play every single position out there. In spring training, they talked to me and basically told me to put away my glove, that I wasn't going to play any other position but DH. So right now, I just feel like it's not appropriate decision by them to ask me to play another position. It was the GM that I spoke with. I'm not sure what he has with me. He played ball, and I would like to think that he knows that changing positions like that isn't easy. End quote from Devers through his interpreter. Now, some people have said that's not exactly some of the things that he was saying. We can discuss that further. But Welsh, here's the thing with Rafael Devers. I understand where he's coming from, and this is an ego thing. And I'm sure at some point his teammates are saying to him, well, you've got, we got your back. We understand, it's tough. We're all players and we all have thresholds and pride and all that stuff too. However, there's a little bit of thing called money that's going on around here, right? And Rafael Devers is getting paid $27 million this year. He is going to have basically $256 million in total coming to him from the Red Sox here over the next couple years. So, Welsh, explain this to me because when someone's paying you $250 million to pick up a glove again in a bad situation that caught you off guard, I think you're supposed to do that. I think that's what you do for business. And Rafael Devers is basically saying, stick it. I don't care. F your feelings. That's what he's saying.
Yeah, I mean, this was one of the outcomes. It was either that the Red Sox were incompetent and weren't willing to, maybe they are, by the way, for not having the depth, but that they were unwilling to have the tough conversations about it, or they had the conversation and Devers was not willing to do it. And then we found out yesterday it was, oh, Devers is not willing to do it. This is something a player that is looking for their next contract would not do or would be advised to not do because this is being a bad teammate. Like I don't even if they were saying like, oh yeah, the locker room's fine. Like, no, this is just being a bad teammate. You can also do this whole like it is tough, and it probably is. It's tough to change positions in season, but give me a break. Winners don't make excuses. Winners win, and winners find ways to win. So I can't imagine guys like Bregman and Story and Duran and stuff are super happy about a player that won't do whatever it takes to win. I think it's a horrible look. But he's got his money. He's flexing his time with the organization. There's a lot of quotes out there too that looks like he's pseudo kind of calling out the organization. I think it's as bad can be. And I think the hardcore Red Sox fans, hardcore, are on two camps, either hardcore defending or hardcore out on him. And frankly, I would be out. I think this is just bad across the board. So many bad things in the profile we've seen. He's been mediocre. He cried about having to move off of it. Now he's like, "Oh, you took my ball away, so now I'll never play." And he's doing that. And I think it is. I think it is bad. I personally, to me, this is the type of thing where it's like you try to see if you can find a match to get him out of town and get him in here because this is bad for the team. Maybe it's good for Devers. It's bad for the team. And anytime we're solely focused on the players' benefit than the team's benefit, I think you've lost the locker room. So I think this is really garbage. But, I know there's some people, I've had some people out there that are like, oh, can you blame Devers? It's like, no, sure. He's like a little pissy
Yeah,
about it,
I
but they
think I
didn't
can.
take money away from him. They
No,
took his stupid glove away from him.
which
They
was
didn't take
bad,
any money
which was
away from
hurting the
him.
team. So
It's dumb.
he was hurting the team, and now his ego couldn't handle it. So now he's going to let his ego hurt the team further by pouting about it.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, Welsh, I think this is. You mentioned his next contract. He's going to be 36 years old before this contract is
That's
up.
what I'm saying. This
Okay,
was it. This is his
this
contract.
was the
That's why he's
contract.
comfortable doing this.
And I know you're seeing a lot of money getting thrown around here, and 250 million doesn't sound like as much as it used to, but it's still a lot of money, Rafael Devers. And I agree with you, Welsh. I think this is going to come to a head at some point, and Rafael Devers may not be with the Red Sox by the end of this season.
One thing I want
Either
to
the offseason or at the trade deadline. I could see them saying, you know what? This is just not working out. We like the tone of what we've got going. It's a lot for the manager to have to deal with now, right? On top of which, we've got all these prospects coming through the organization that we like. We expect Casas to be back, hopefully healthy next year, and we still believe in his ability. I know Rafael Devers is a very good player at his best, but this has been an absolute disaster, and maybe it's been mismanaged and miscommunicated. You could say all those things. At the end of the day, I think he's being a big baby about it. Can we show the big baby picture? There you go.
Oh, there he is.
He is wah.
Why? But he's on the field though, so that's not. It's it's AI.
Yeah, but there's no glove in his hand. There's no glove
that's
in his
true.
hand,
He
so
doesn't want to play.
Workout.
Oh, they took my glove away.
And I'm not saying it's easy to learn a new position. I'm not saying any of that is easy. I'm saying is there's players who play multiple positions in Major League Baseball all the time just to get in the lineup, just to stay at the Major League level. And I get it. You're a star. You're a stud. You're a big-time player. I understand all of that. But it's all ego at the end of the day. And you're looking around and the Red Sox nation is going to turn on him and turn on him fast for this. I'm sorry. I don't see them supporting him. Yeah, send him to the Rockies. That'll teach you. At the end of the day, Devers is in a really precarious spot, and he is going to basically ego himself out of Boston. I think that's what he wants to do, and I think that's what he's going to do. And I think the Red Sox will be better off for it. I'll be honest with you.
The one thing I want to say is someone put in there said there's bad translation. That's fine, especially if you want to pick.
I mentioned that at the top.
I know,
but people
what I want to say is
might
like,
not be perfect, but you know what? That's what's out there, and that's also on you, Rafael Devers.
Okay, but that I don't even care about that stuff. Like, if you want to pick, if people are like, oh, it's bad translation, and about the manager, there's only one piece of the thing that actually matters, is if they asked him to play first and he's not willing to. End of story. All the other stuff is just more talking points for local radio and for people to get more pissed off about and to light the fire. So whatever's lost in translation, okay, understandable. But if what's not lost is that they asked him to play first and he said no, that's the important piece. That's a bad teammate, regardless of whatever. And there's 0.0 chance if he was a free agent in a year or two that he would be doing that. The pacifier would come out and the glove would go on.
You're 100% right. The glove would go on, the pacifier would come out. You're 100% right. And look, here's Todd. He's a Red Sox fan for the other Oppos part of this. I still support him. I don't want him talking to the media the rest of the season. That's fine. But it's already happened. It's already been done. We already know he didn't want to move off third base. We already know he didn't want Bregman there. He felt like someone was taking his position. And you know what? Sorry. You had the option, which is take 1,000 ground balls, every week and get better at your position and become a great defender. So work ethic. So you can fix things like fielding, right? Like, I can't make somebody 6'4", 200 pounds, athlete size. The things you can fix at the major league level, you can become a better defender. Pete Alonso was not the greatest defender. He worked his tail off to become at least a pretty good first baseman.
These guys all work on this stuff, by the way. They all work on it during shagging sessions and stuff. It's not that big. But here, I want to ask you this. Do you think he gets booed today? After all this happened, I think he's going to... Are they in Boston today? I'm not looking. Is it a home game?
In the meantime, I decided...
No, they're in Kansas City.
Yeah, well, let's see what happens next couple of days. And Romy Gonzalez is hurt now, too.
He's getting booed the first game back in Boston. Watch.
I think he should be. Speaking of that, also, I decided to put into AI, into ChatGPT a little bit, a nice little story about Rafael Devers. And it goes a little something like this.
Oh, no.
One sunny afternoon, Rafael Devers, the beloved third baseman of the Red Sox, is enjoying a routine practice when a mystery voodoo doll falls from the stands. When he accidentally touches it and he magically is transformed into a baby, complete with diaper and pacifier. As chaos unfolds around him, his teammates and fans are baffled by the sight of their star player in such an absurd state. Now, trapped in the body of an infant, Rafael Devers must navigate the challenges of a toddler world while trying to communicate with his confused teammates through comical scenarios like crawling onto the field during a game and attempting to swing a tiny bat. Oh, hilarious. Luckily, he wasn't grabbing a big glove. Valuable lessons about teamwork and humility will be learned. And meanwhile, his best friends... Oh, wait, he doesn't have any friends on the team to help reverse the spell. So as they work together as an organization... Devers discovers the importance of family, friendship, and the joy of play. Ultimately, a heartfelt moment, perhaps, with the fans and a final showdown at the game leads to the spell being broken when he grabs that first baseman's mitt, restoring him to his adult self just in time for the Red Sox to win a championship. And that, my friends, is embracing the child within. So there you go, a heartwarming story from AI about Rafael Devers.
I'm surprised. I thought the whole story would have been translated like...
Yeah, that could also be true.